Morning, this is Joseph Velasco of Pond Art, and this is Jose of Pond Art helping us with our demonstration of the Aquascape Classic skimmer. This skimmer is installed in our client's pond, and the first thing that most people recognize is the plastic lid, and then they'll recognize the fact that this is the debris net, the most often cleaned item in the classic skimmer. And you can see that this particular skimmer has two pumps, so it's pretty complex. So now we're going to move over to our demonstration skimmer. In this particular case, we're going to talk first about the liner that's attached to the skimmer with the Aquascape faceplate weir. It's held on by 12 screws. Aquascape supplied us with aluminum screws initially. Unfortunately, these particular screws were pretty active metal, and they reacted with the water, and they basically their heads dissolved and the skimmer faceplate fell off. We now replaced these screws with stainless steel. Good, you can see that. So one of the things to remember is on checking your water level, you can refer to the two screws that Jose is pointing with his fingers right now. The second from the top on the vertical side, but more easily a way of checking the water level is to use the bulkhead fitting in the back of the skimmer. In this particular case, this bulkhead really is the overflow, and we'll just use the bottom of the overflow as the indicator for the water level. Now, Aquascape did supply, in the earlier models, they supplied PVC pipe for the filter pad support, but they would always fall down into the bottom of the skimmer, and so they came up with a better idea, which is a one-piece molded filter pad rack, which holds the filter very nicely, as you can see. So then the next thing to install is the pump and the check valve assembly. And you can see that Jose is tightening up the check valve to more or less fit into the particular skimmer. He's going to drop it into the bottom of the skimmer, and he's going to line it up so that the check valve assembly union fits it to the supply line that goes to the biofalls. So the next item is the filter pad. This filter pad is very important. We custom cut every single skimmer filter pad because the hole around the check valve assembly is different in every particular skimmer. So you can see how well this one fits. The corners are tight. There's no room for water to go around the edges of the filter pad or between the filter pad and the check valve assembly. This is very important. If the debris that passes without being collected by the filter pad eventually is collected by the pump, and we try to avoid that. And the next item is the optional autofill valve. Now, where we put the autofill valve kind of depends on how complex the plumbing is in the skimmer. If you have two pumps, obviously that location is not going to work. It could be somewhere else. Okay? And the last item is, and the most familiar item with people who own an Aquascape Classic skimmer, is the debris net. And the debris net, as you can see, fits snugly in the front and over the back, and that's the thing that's cleaned pretty regularly. So that's a pretty neat little installation right there. And the last thing to top it off is our lid. Now there you are. That's the Aquascape Classic skimmer, and thank you, Jose.